So today's video is all about pond pumps. Is it worth spending more money on an expensive brand or going cheap on the alternative low budget pump? So we're going to go into how expensive pond pumps have become, and also, which you might find interesting, is how much they actually cost to run each month. So over the years, we've used pretty much every type of pond pump you can get hold of. So today's video is more about the general pump for the general pond. So as we're trade, we don't really visit pond shops these days that much. Most of our, all of our equipment is sent directly to us, and then we go and do the job. So with that in mind, every now and then we do have to go into one of these pond shops, and it is eye-watering, some of the prices. When I look on the shelf, I think, oh my God, that is so expensive for a pump. I mean, what is a pump? It just pumps water. There's nothing that fancy about it. So when we price up a job, we always give our customers a few different options, perhaps a budget and more expensive, or maybe even a premium budget pump. Generally speaking, they always go for either the mid-range or the budget version, not because of money, but we actually give them a breakdown of what the difference between the pumps are. When you look at it on paper, there isn't actually that much difference. So buying an expensive pond pump, especially for us, is very rare. And also, if we were pricing in expensive pond pumps, there's a risk of us losing work, just because the pump's like twice or even 3 times as much more expensive than the other ones, when pretty much they do exactly the same job. So in the pond keeping industry, most pond pumps are there just to pump water, obviously, but pumping water horizontally and not really vertically. Some of them have a head height, maybe a few meters or so, which isn't that much, but majority of the time, there's nothing special about them. They're just designed to pump water that way. Okay, so let's talk about the pond pumps. So I've got 4 pond pumps. Now we use these quite regularly. There are a few different brands, but they all pretty much do the same thing. Some of them you can control the flow, but most of them are just your standard pond pump that just pumps the same speed 24 hours a day. So we're going to do the pumps with a flow rate of around about 8,000 litres an hour. So they're all pretty much the same. Some might be like 500 litres an hour more or less, so it's all the same. We're going to do the Pondomax 8,000. We're going to do the Aquamax Classic 8,500, I believe. The Aquamax Premium 8,000, and the Blagdon Amphibious. This one you can change the speed, so 6,000 to 12,000 depending on how fast you want it to go. Right, so this is the interesting bit. So the Pondomax 8,000, how much does that one cost? So that one costs £154, or call it 155. So £155 for a pond pump that will pump 8,000 litres an hour. Now going to the other two, which I'll call mid-range pumps. We've got the Eco Classic and the Amphibious. The Eco Classic's 265, so a bit of a jump, and the Amphibious 210, so not too bad. The prices I have noticed over the last year or so have gone up quite a lot, but not as much as this one. This is the one that makes my eyes water every time I go into an aquatic shop. It's the Aquamax Premium Aquamax range. So an 8,000 Aquamax Premium pump, £449, £450 for a pump that pumps water, the exact same amount of water as what these other 3 pumps will pump. So what are we missing? What is the difference? So let's have a look at a few more bits and go into some technical details, like not flow rates, sorry, go into some technical details such as wattages and power outputs. So with energy prices going up, pond pumps have become quite expensive to run. Unfortunately, they never really used to be that expensive, but they are noticeably more expensive now. So obviously it's all done on wattages. So let's just have a look at the wattages. So remember I said that they all just pump the same way, and so if they're pumping at the same flow rate, the wattages aren't going to be that much different. So the Pondomax 8,000 is a 70 watt pump. The Eco Classic is the highest of them all, which is 80 watts. The Amphibious ranges from 40 to 85. 85, that's pumping at 12,000. So we're probably looking about 60 watts to run 8,000. So that's not too bad. And then for all the expensive, for all the extra money you're paying on your really expensive pump, the Aquamax Premium pump, that only is 65 watts. So between the Pondomax 8000 and the the Premium 8000, you've got a whole 5 watts of difference in power. The lowest wattage pump is the Aquamax Premium, so remember that's 5 watts lower than the cheapest pond pump that they do, which is the 8000 Pondomax, but the price difference is £295 for 5 watts. That doesn't make sense to me. Now, the next thing you might be worried about warranties and things like that. So let's have a look at the warranties on pond pumps. Now, the Pondomax is a 3-year warranty, which is pretty standard to be fair. Lots of manufacturers do a 2-year, but 3 years seems to be the way forward these days. The Eco Classic, the Aquamax, they do a very annoying warranty, just like the Premium version. They do a 3-year plus a 2-year if you register, which really winds me up. I mean, why don't you just do a 5-year warranty and just call it that? I mean, who actually registers the warranty? I mean, some people do, I know, but a lot of people don't. If you're buying that, and especially at £450, I want a 5-year warranty. And the Blagdon Amphibious pump, you get a 3-year warranty again, so it's pretty standard. The only difference with the Aquamax range compared to the other two is you can run those dry. So you can have it external, and you can take it out the housing and just connect hose to it and run it dry, and it doesn't cause any damage. So, but it's one of them. You can buy a dry pump. Yes, you can buy other dry pumps as well, but not many people buy it to run it dry. Most people just buy it to use it in the pond, like a normal pond pumps. Okay, so now for the interesting bit. How much do these pumps actually cost to run per month? And what is the difference between them? And is it actually worth spending the money on a more expensive pump in the long run? So the Pondomax 70 watt pump, that will cost you £208.48 per year, or just over £17 a month, £17.37. The Eco Classic, so it's 80 watts, a little bit more, that's going to be about £238 a year, or just under £20 a month, so £19.85. The Amphibious, so it goes from 40 to 85 watts. So if you ran it at 40 watts, you're only getting 6,000, so it's not quite the same flow rate. Just under £10, or on full whack, just under £20 a month to run that. So the Premium one, so remember the expensive one, that costs you £193 a year, or £16 roughly per month. So a pump that costs 3 times as much as the Pondomax will actually only save you £1.24 a month of energy, or £15 a year. So even if you used the expensive pump and you had 5 years out of it, let's just say you did the warranty, so you spent £450 on the expensive pump, you had it for 5 years and it broke. Look at it this way, you could buy the cheaper pump, £155, you could have 3 of them and use a 3-year warranty each time, you get 9 years out of it. So I really don't know what the hell they're doing, charging so much money for a pump that does exactly the same as a cheaper one. And you might not believe me or not, but you wouldn't guess who actually manufactures the cheaper pump, and that is Aquamax as well. If you're going into a shop and you're going to go and buy a pump, don't feel bad buying a cheap pump. Majority of them are actually pretty good. They make no difference at all. The more expensive pumps, some of them you can actually flick a switch on them to reduce them in the winter time, but who does that? Most people, or most customers we have, didn't even know that you could do that on the pump, and they just leave them in there. Okay, so obviously we told you how much it all costs. Now this is coming from our personal point of view and our professional point of view. Now, I would not be sitting here telling you to buy a cheap pond pump if they were crap, because we wouldn't be putting them on if they didn't work, because I'll be getting calls all the time. Excuse me, Mr. Pond Man, can you come back? My pond pump's broken again, and you know, I haven't got time to be doing that. Customers haven't got the time for it as well. So, I mean, 100% honest and genuine with you. The more expensive pond pumps, isn't that much difference in them. If you want to buy one, go ahead. you don't need to. Okay, that's it for now. I hope you liked the video. If you did, click the like button and subscribe for more, and we'll see you next time.